Sound speeds. And if you're a boom operator working in the film industry, then pay close attention because I'm going to explain to you why a chest rig is my choice for daily carry on a film set. When I first started working as a boom operator, I carried everything in my pockets or on a nearby cart. But there was an issue with that because the more I carried, the more my pockets bulked up. And that meant that I was not going to be nearly as agile on set. I did not want that to happen. So I started to think about what I wanted to do. And I got myself a clip-on belt pouch from, I think it was Lowe's or Home Depot. And I carried that on my side until this one day when I was doing a walk and talk with Cuba Gooding Jr. And as I was walking, the pouch was clapping against my leg. And he didn't say anything, but at the end of the take, as he was talking to the director, he happened to glance back at the exact height as to where that pouch was, glanced at it, then turned around and minded his own business. But I took note, and after that I decided that the pouch had to go. Back in my old martial art days, we used to talk about getting things off of our hands and legs and more onto our core, where our center of strength is. And that's what I decided to do. I got myself a vest called the Uncle Milty Travel Vest in jet black. And I wore this for quite a while, probably about 7 or so years. But there was an issue with it. Number one is that every one of the pockets, and there were a lot of them, had a front and a back lining to it, and then the vest itself was lined, and then there were pockets on the inside too. So there was no less than 4 layers of this vest on me at all points. So it was extremely hot, and I didn't like that one bit. I did try a few other vests, but in all honesty, the Uncle Milty one was the very best design for at least use as a boom operator. The biggest issue I ran into, though, was that I was encouraged to fill up the pockets, and there were a lot of them, with pretty much everything I had. So I could carry a lot of things on me, but did I really need to do that? No. So I decided to look into a chest rig. And the first design I got was a very small, I guess profile one, but it stuck out more. And part of the reason was because it had a pouch inside that I would put my wallet and my keys in, and I would keep all my basic personal belongings in that pouch, and I would keep all the work stuff around it. But then the issue I ran into was that it stuck out a long ways, and I didn't want to have that. I wanted to have something that was smaller and tighter to my chest, that was wider. That's fine, because my chest is wider anyway. I would rather have something like this that's lower profile, and basically snug, yet still allows me to put things in it. And that's when I found this one by Winex, and I really like this design. Now, what do I keep inside of it? Well, let's investigate that. Although it should go without saying, regarding this Winex chest rig and everything on the inside, there are links down in the description if you'd like to check out any of these. But for right now, let's start by unzipping this outer pocket, which I call my personal pocket. This is where I keep basically anything like my wallet, my keys, anything that I need to take home with me. This is a personal pocket. It's plain and simple. I don't go into that very much during the day. That's why it's the pocket that's farthest away from me. And it's also the smallest. Now, with regards to the main cavity of this chest rig, there's only like one real good way for me to get into it. That's by dumping everything out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then kind of organize it as we're looking at it. And things kind of went everywhere, but you kind of get the idea. There has to be a system in place for you to know where everything is and for you to grab it very easily. And I do have a system that I use. And basically, I keep my batteries on one side. You can kind of see how I'm kind of laying it out here on the table. My 0.5 millimeter mechanics gloves, you heard me talk about those in the past. These are the sides that I usually use when I'm on set every day. This is a rechargeable head lantern. And I really like this thing because you can charge it up as opposed to putting batteries in there. I mentioned the sides. That's basically the part of the script that you're looking at every single day and going to be shooting. You got to have your hand sanitizer, 2 different types of storage cells for AA batteries and 9-volt batteries. Now, this is kind of like a tweaker, but you could buy them for like $1, maybe a little bit more now from Lowe's or Home Improvement. And it has various different sizes of screwdriver there that you can use for different types of things. I usually use it for reprogramming older type transmitters or, basically anything you really need something small for. You got to have your mag light for illuminating things. And this is actually a ZipFizz tube, but I keep small rubber bands in there. I usually will use it to keep something in place. I'll add a little bit of like if I have wind chimes or something like that, I might add 1 or 2 of those around there to keep it from being so noisy if I can't get set deck or something like that. Back to this headlamp real quick. You can see how bright it is. Has various different modes if you want that mode. Or the other side, it allows you to use your hand and just wave it on or off. It has that little green light on it. And if you do that, then you can very easily just wave it on and wave it off if you're outside doing some stuff. You got to have your ZipFizz. This is something that I started carrying with me, a heart monitor, mainly because when I'm wearing a mask and a face visor, it can sometimes be difficult to breathe, and I like to monitor that. Now, these Fisker scissors are really good. You could get the kinds that's not pointy or the kind that is pointy. These are the non-pointy version. I usually say, don't trust me with sharp objects. They're non-stick though, so they're great for basically keeping anything from sticking, like if you're cutting moleskin or anything like that. Then, of course, I have to have my multi-tool. So this is what I usually keep on the inside of my chest rig, that and the ZipViz bottle opener at the bottom. As a general rule, that's my daily carry when I'm on a film set, but sometimes I'll put additional things in there that I'm working on or need for a scene. And if there's cold weather, then I'll need to layer up, and I'll usually take this thing off very easily by unclicking it right there. And then once I put it on, I might have to resize it a little bit, but then I'll click it right back on and it works great. Now, I like this design because in the very back of it, it does not cross over and have these little, folds and intertwines and have weird lumps and wrinkles and stuff like that. The back is very smooth in design and how it fits snug against my back. You see how this works? It's right here, and my shoulders would go in there, my arms going through here, and then this is simply how it works. So this goes on over the neck, and I toss these things back, just like that. And then I pull it around, and if I'm not sitting in a chair, it makes it a lot easier, but it's as simple as that to get on and click on into place. To keep organized, what I'll usually do is put one zipper on this side, and I'll keep the other two zippers on the other side. That way I can very easily get into whichever side I need to, personal belongings here and work belongings here. And this works for me quite well and effectively. Sometimes on the front, I'll put Velcro stickers on the front here. And if I happen to go cabled with my boom pole, then what I'll do is take one of these, which is basically what you would do is you put this through a belt loop and then you use it to hold your keys. But I use it in reverse. So what I do is I clip this on right here, and then I keep my cable coiled up here in my hands. I can very quickly and easily take a coil, put it on there, do this number, and it goes clipping right back into place, and then I can boom. And if I need to pull in another cable, another coil or something like that on the fly, I can very easily do that and then stick it back on. And it does that very simply. Last but not least, there's actually some techniques you can do with regards to boom handling if you use a chest rig. And that's going to be something I save for another video. But in the meantime, I will thank you for watching this episode of SoundSpeech. Be sure to tune in the future for more pro boom operator tips, tricks, and daily carry things, or whatever else I decide to talk about that we definitely end up using. And of course, as always, sound advice. Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.